to meet you.
We're close to the action here in New Atlantis. Prime position to report on the big stories that affect the United States.
SSNN is supposed to be impartial, but I think the UC's got a finger on the scale there. Or a whole hand.
If you've seen something interesting, let me know. If it pans out into a full story, you'll be compensated. Welcome to SSNN, where the news never sleeps. If you're part of the David Barron fan club, try not to inflate his ego too much. He's liable to burst. A cog in the machine. If you mean literally, Nadia Muffaz, head researcher of the office. So if we got any facts wrong, I'm the one who files your complaint into the shredder. We spend hundreds of hours digging into stories, sorting the lies from the damned lies. Then David performs a 2-minute segment and wins an award. Who'd have a problem with that? Sorry. Long day. Longer night. How about a do-over? Let's take a look at you. You're not from around here. My guess is you really work for a living. I bet you have a story or two. I have a feeling about such things. Sounds like an old pickup line. But it really has, hasn't it? I'm interested only in primary sources. So things you've seen and or done that are newsworthy. No hearsay. So, what do you got for me? You have a story to tell. You certainly get around. I'm surprised that branch has any customers left the number of times it's been held up. But I thought the Rangers had finally managed to get a handle on it. I heard there was a standoff. That true? I hear the robbers are provided free of charge. All part of the service. What happened to the robbers? The Shaw gang? You did what? I mean, you're well spoken, but a hostage negotiator? I'll do some research and make sure that checks out. These things are often messy. Any customers or Galbank staff get hurt? That's really good news. Usually, well, it's a different kind of story. You were there. You were involved in resolving it. Any comment on the Freestar Rangers? Having another high-profile robbery in their own backyard is a bit of a black eye. Huh. That's really good to know. Stories like this always fire up public outrage and appetite. Thanks for the interview. And take this. You talk and get paid, I spread the news. It's a classic win-win. Looks like some Crimson Fleet brainiac figured out it's easier to hit stationary targets than dogfighting in the field. And you are an eyewitness with the courtesy to find us instead of being chased down. Refreshing. So what were the pirates doing there? It's not their usual MO.
You know, I never did get the full story on this. I wish I had some popcorn.
Rare minerals, you say? That would be worth the price of admission. So what's your role in all this? Part of a tour group? Huh. I didn't realize Argos extractors hired such capable crew. So we've covered the basics. How about any harrowing tales of daring do? How'd a bunch of miners triumph? Huh. Sounds like a good outfit. The heroic miner is a good angle. This is a good local story. Plucky miners band together and punch above their weight. If you ever get more stories like this, drop by. And take this to cover any incidentals, or other creative ways to pad out an expense report.
I am glad there is still a reliable source of news in the settled systems, though it often travels significantly slower than light.
If you have a news story for me, I'm very happy to pay your fee. You have another story for me? Really? To say you have my undivided attention is an understatement. A lot of people were there. The accounts we've got were chaotic. What was your role in that? Sounds like maybe you're being modest. Security isn't exactly trained for that scenario. But all right. The whole city is still on edge over the attack. We were fortunate, damn fortunate, that casualties were so low. What was it like in the thick of things? Pure instinct, huh? It sounds like New Atlantis, heck, the whole UC, owes you a great debt. Any closing comments? I already have a good story here. That makes me feel better. I feel like such a sap, but it does. Hey, Constellation? From all of us that live here, thanks. We use the word hero a lot in news, but you really are one. You have another story for me? You talk and get paid, I spread the news. It's a classic win-win. Of course you are. Why wouldn't you be? I swear you're either a trouble magnet or something. So, SysDef finally, and against all odds, really triumphed against the Crimson Fleet. In their own backyard, no less. How were you involved? Directly with him? I got that right? Wow. Okay. So, the Vigilants went toe-to-toe with everything the Crimson Fleet could throw at them. And somehow, almost miraculously, they captured the key. The key itself. I've confirmed that with many sources. Anything to add? Oh, so the standard happy to be part of the team boilerplate. I can type that quote in my sleep. You have to feel good about how everything turned out. Commander Ikande is being hailed a hero, and SysDef's popularity is at an all-time high. Your thoughts? The UC did kind of spawn this monster, and like you said, it might finally be dealt with. And that's all I need. You really do lead an extraordinary life. And as a, well, possibly embarrassing personal note, thank God for you. You talk and get paid, I spread the news. It's a classic win-win.
SSNN is supposed to be impartial, but I think the UC's got a finger on the scale there. Or a whole hand.
Already interviewed an ex-pirate about the robbery. But she was as reliable as good coffee around here. So you were there when it went down? What were you doing there? Well then, let's continue, Mr. Not Really Relevant. Tell me about this Captain Centric. What was your impression of him? I would have loved to have seen it. I'm sure it would make a good story right there. No one seems to know exactly what was stolen, but everyone agrees it was valuable. Care to shed some light on it? I don't blame you. Last question. About, and I'm quoting, a zoo gone wild. The other source swore up and down that alien creatures got out on page. Please, please, please tell me she was telling the truth. It's got to be some Aurora-induced hallucination. I knew it was too good to be true. Oh well. This is just a plain old good story. Check the newsfeed for it later. And here's your payment. When you first walked into my office, I had no idea you would be at the center of so much. And I get the feeling you're not sharing everything. I might surprise you, but I understand. I talked with the editor, and he authorized a special bonus for someone who's worked with us so long. And maybe one day, years from now, you can fill stories you didn't want broadcast. Take care, Constellation.
Those crabs ain't gonna steal themselves.